as a brand ambassador and dream advocate of Filinvest Land, we're here to promote the advocacy I Own My Dream. It's to help the ordinary Filipino realize that he can be part of this advocacy and he can own his dream by Filinvest helping him get the housing that they deserve, because we cater to all classes in society. So each and every person will be able to attain their dreams through hard work and perseverance. I think I've fulfilled a lot of my dreams, like having my own home and being able to do what I want, being able to go into a business where I want to go into. So most of the dreams that I have, I've in a way fulfilled them already. But that doesn't in any way stop me from keeping on dreaming for bigger things. But in dreaming of bigger things, we also keep into account the people who we meet along the way. And that is something that is part of my dream, to be able to help all those that we get into contact with, to be able to improve their lives also, like the people who work for us. And any other person that you meet that who might need our help. Here and then I left here when I was about 18 years old to study in Manila. I was born here. I studied at Sacred Heart Ateneo de Cebu now. And then I went to Velas College for 2 years, taking up pre-med, medtech, before I transferred to De La Salle University in Manila.
Okay. From this table, kidding aside, I don't think there is such a thing as dreaming too much or having plenty of dreams. More particularly, if you dedicate these dreams to your family, to your loved ones. You know, maybe there is a certain limit to what we can give to ourselves. But there is no limit to what we can give to the people we love. Right? So in that sense, I feel there's no such limit. There's no such thing as dreaming too much. In real estate, maybe we begin by simply buying whatever house we can afford at the moment. Maybe start with a 2-bedroom bungalow. After 5 years, because we work hard, we have more savings, we have more luck with the guidance of prayer. We have more money to invest and buy and bring our growing family to a bigger house. Maybe a 2-story, 6-bedroom house. And then maybe as we grow old, because our kids have their own families already, we would like to live in a condominium where we don't have to climb stairs when we're getting old and it's easier to maintain. Then we go and buy our own luxury condominium. Then as we grow older, maybe the place to go will be leisure, finding places where you can retire and enjoy the money that you've earned by yourself. So we look for condominiums or properties that are beachside, mountainside, or anywhere we feel more relaxed on our last age. So I guess in a way, it is a continuous process. Besides, dreaming is free, right? You can't have too much of it. So I'll pass it now to Richard for a more challenging question.
Be careful.
Well, I've always been a fan of action movies. Even when I was smaller, we were always watching kung fu movies. That they used to have the Vision Theater in Colon. So we used to go there and watch all these Chinese films that Kasi ako na wala pang may cable.
Wapay kay Wagan.
That's how old I am. So I've always been a fan of action movies and Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal, James Bond, and I also like to watch romantic movies such as the older ones like The Love Affair, Somewhere in Time, the classics. But I think you may know that I endorsed a politician last time at 2013 for senator, si Senator June Magsaysay. But I choose people to endorse very carefully because we are endorsing someone who will be in charge of helping the nation grow. So I don't want to place myself in a position where I will be blamed for what happens to this country. But of course, it has to pass through also my management team. They have to be, they have to screen who the politician is. We also have our own people that we would like to help, but sometimes they don't really come to us. So whoever it is that comes to us to ask them to endorse, we also try to screen them and look at what their background is. Usually, I try to ask them what their platform of government is because I want to know what they are going to do for our country. And if they don't pass my criteria, I beg off. I'm going to be with Filinvest for 2 years and 2 years and a half, more or less. And but it doesn't mean that we're going to stop there.
Right, right.
Well, regarding being bashed on social media, I think everybody has been a victim, has had their share of bashing because no matter what you try to do, there will always be people who will not like you. It's not, yeah, but as they say, you can't please everyone. There will always be people who like other people better, so they will try to put you down.
Right.
Follow-up question: how severe is it? Was it? Have you encountered being like depressed after reading those bashes or rants?
Well, sometimes it affects you, but I don't let it affect me too much because I don't think that other people's opinions will really matter. I always think that, you know, they're not the ones who are paying for my salary. As long as the network and the people I'm working for are happy with what I'm doing, that's all that matters.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions?
That's it. Yes. You know, it's well, I was never gifted with a property of my own, so I had to work for it. But I know that how difficult it is now to be able to catch up with rising property prices, and sometimes our, let's say, our salaries will not be able to afford us a good house later on. So I try to prepare also for my kids. Of course, I don't tell them now that I'll be preparing something for them, pero I want them to work hard for what they want. But as a fallback, I'm preparing, let's say, a condo or a property for them, so that later on, whether they choose to live in it or not, they have something to start on with when they start out in life.